What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is AkeemHaynes. I'm a two-time Olympic bronze medalist, author, motivational speaker, and sports commentator. On my channel, we talk boxing, MMA, track and field, and of course, motivation and encouraging content. If this is something that you enjoy, then I hope that you subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into the video. Regis Prograis versus Jose Zepeda. What do we think about this fight? Let's get into it. Let's start with Regis Prograis. He's coming into this one with a record of 27 wins, 1 loss, 23 wins by way of knockout. After his loss against Josh Taylor in 2019, he's won his last 3 fights by knockout in under 7 rounds. He's got heavy hands because when I watch some of his shots that land, it doesn't look like it should take his opponents out, but it does. He's got good hand speed. He puts together good combinations. He's not afraid to let his hands go. That's what I do like about Regis Prograis. He'll pick you apart from close, from in range, right? He's not the biggest guy there, but he does not mind fighting inside the pockets. His uppercut is sharp. His jabs are snappy. He's accurate. And he's got good punching power. I wouldn't say it's that one-shot knockout type of power, but the man can pop. His defense is subtle but quick. He does a good job at making his opponents miss with a subtle head movement. In his last fight against Tyrone McKenna, I thought he won that fight with ease, right? It looked like a sparring match, to be honest, right? Like he was just working through some things in the fight. It looked like exactly what it was supposed to be, which was a tune-up fight. But he was sharp in that fight. He looked good. Not great by no means, but he did look good. What I wanted to see more of in that fight was just better footwork, right? He didn't use his feet in that fight, didn't really use his foot to take different angles, wasn't in there trying to look pretty, none of that. He was in there to work on some things, to get the job done, to break his opponent down, and to make sure that he did it and won in convincing fashion, as he did. It's always good when you can win by a knockout. So I'm looking forward to what he's going to bring to the table this weekend. I think he does need to get off to a fast start, in my opinion. But let's talk about his opponent, Jose Zepeda. He's coming to this one with a record of 35 wins, 2 losses, 27 wins by way of knockout. So this is not going to be an easy fight for Regis Prograis. He's going to have to bring it because Jose Zepeda is no slouch. Zepeda has got the reach by 3 inches. He's got power. He's a thinker inside of the ring. He's going to use his jab before coming in and trying to land his shots. He has good, decent head movement. He's a good counter puncher. His 1-2 combination is accurate and it's sharp. He does not disguise a lot of his attacks. It's pretty simple. It's pretty basic, but that does not mean that it's not successful. That does not mean he does not execute on a high level. The man fights his fight, and he's very good at his game. He cut Vargas in his last fight with a simple 1-2 combination that put him down in the first round. I don't think Prograis would get caught with a shot like that, but it's something Regis can't overlook. Zepeda has got 27 knockouts, so he's got pop, right? Like he's not someone to be taken lightly. Zepeda, though, is interesting to me. Physically, he's got the skills, but mentally, he seems a bit up and down to me. Let's dig a little bit deeper in that. He was very focused and locked in against Vargas in his last fight, and it showed. But in the fight before that, when he fought Hank Lundy, he didn't look good. Looked inconsistent, really had to work to win, even though it was by unanimous decision. I think he overlooked Hank Lundy because of the losses that Lundy had. But in his fight against Ivan Baranchyk, right, he was in a war where they both were going back and forth, trading shots. There was knockdowns left, right, and center. It was a very exciting match, but he showed what he had in him. The will and the heart of a champion. When you and your opponent are going shot for shot and you don't want to be the first one to back down, can you mentally lock yourself in and rise to the occasion? And Zepeda did that in that fight. We know he has that internal will about him to will himself up off the canvas if he gets dropped in this fight, which I think he will get dropped in this fight. But that's the thing for me. Which Jose Zepeda are we going to get? If it's the one that fought Lundy, he's going to lose. But if it's the one against Baranchyk or Vargas, then we're in for a good matchup. But he said this after his fight against Ivan Baranchyk, right? Which is why I bring this idea to mind, right? He said, I'm always doubting myself before the fight. Look, I get it, right? I've been in the world, in the pressure sporting world where doubt and fears and insecurities and all of these things creep into your mind the closer that you get to the moment. Doubt will always be there, but you have to decide very early which feeling are you going to lock into the most. So I'm a little bit concerned about that for Jose Zepeda. Obviously, we know he's going to focus on the job at hand, but if there's a little bit of doubt that creeps into mine, that can sway this fight, and it will not work in his favor. Against Baranchyk, it did, and it picked him up off the canvas. But can he do it again if he is tested in this fight as he was in previous fights before? So who wins? It's going to be interesting, right? They are both southpaws, and it makes it even more interesting, right? But I'm taking Regis Prograis to win by decision. I think Prograis will control the tempo and slow it down to his pace. His speed will give Zepeda some problems. Baranchyk, his speed and aggression was a problem for Zepeda. I don't think Zepeda expected him to come out that aggressive, especially in the first round. But you could see the power and the placement gave Zepeda some problems, and I think Regis will be able to do some of those same things in this fight. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning? Let me know in the comment section below. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a couple ways that you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen towards the end of this video, and any amount would be greatly appreciated and goes towards the growth of this channel. If you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find my social media handles at the end of this video. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this long, then do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.